Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back with another recording of Hearthstone. So today is April 20th and we're trying to get victories and we are not succeeding. So I'm going to just quickly hop back in here. We need a mage or a shaman victory one more time and then maybe I could jump over to a mid-range hunter deck or something else and see if I can get a victory that way. We're still on the Asian account. I'm also suffering from probably an ear infection, so like I'm in a little bit of pain, running a little bit of fever, not feeling the greatest. Also suffering from Windows updating, and it seems like Windows updating now has decided to not have just not have a zoomed in by default setup, even though that's what I had already set up. So it's just Windows has decided to handle default dots per inch differently for different programs, which was the thing they were going to do, but you would think in a setup where you had already set it up to be very large, it wouldn't go back to being small. I mean, potentially that means somebody rebooted their computer and may not have been able to watch the see what was going on and all. Alright. So Your Gamer has a interesting article about Amazon.com not having the pre-order for Detroit or Spider-Man, but actually having the pre-order for God of War. And then of course they had God of War for sale when it became available for sale. I don't think that really means too much of anything, honestly. There's definitely been times in which Amazon.com has tried to punish publishers and creators of products by not handing them. Most notably, they do not hold like the they don't sell, I think, the Google Hub, Google Home, which directly competes with the Alexa, so they're being monopolistic. They may not have the Nest thermostat either. Although arguably I would say you probably don't even want a Nest thermostat. I think it's Honeywell is, I think, a better thermostat now. And you were getting to the point where you can have Alexa in your thermostat or Alexa in your smoke detector, and that's kind of an interesting idea, taking some very unitasker products and having them do a little bit more. Of course, that could also cause them to crash and not run as well, or do that one task they're supposed to do well. So I don't know if this article comes to any does anything other than raising questions about why some of those games are not available for pre-order. I imagine Detroit and Spider-Man simply just don't have any shipping dates to their warehouse, and that's why you wouldn't take any pre-orders. Is not the shipping date that the game goes live and available for purchase, but the date that PlayStation, Sony, or whoever's making Spider-Man in Detroit would say, our discs are going to arrive via truckload into your warehouse on this date. And until somebody promises that to them, I bet they don't take pre-orders. That's not the best way for things to work, because then if you're not taking pre-orders until somebody ships some number to you, then whatever number you're asking them to ship to you is just coming out of nowhere. You'd have to say, give me 10,000 copies of Detroit and give me that shipping date before I take pre-orders as an initial order, which you know, isn't crazy. And then pre-orders, I guess, would be your secondary order. Anyways, moving on, because I do kind of want to burn through this news. I don't want to have a bunch of stuff left over for Monday, while also very potentially spending most of having a shorter stream today. The next game we have on Steam is called Platform Challenge, which is about the worst name ever from the worst name developer ever, BS Studios. It's 10% off for 89 cents. Honestly, you just can't call your company that. Like, these inside jokes, these dark humor jokes, only play to half the planet. And you've got to call your company something that looks professional, that plays, that's boring, and plays everywhere. Let's see. So, this Platform Challenge doesn't look like it's a terrible game, but it doesn't also look special. It looks like it's just an 8-bit, where I've also often called games student projects, that they look like student projects. This looks like a student's project's final. It's animated pretty well, but it looks like something from the 1990s, 8-bit platformer, jumping around, collecting keys, opening up portals, maybe jumping around, lightning. It's probably a one-screen game because every single screenshot seems to be on the same background screen. So that seems like that's a problem. And then elements are just getting moved around. There would be, I guess, one way to do it. Says the trailer says it has 4 difficulties, 40 levels, which kind of makes it look like a cell phone game. 150 challenges. They've got the price right for the quality at 89 cents, maybe even a little bit less than that. But there's nothing so great about Platform Challenge that would make me want to buy it. Let's see. Let's play that. And the next game we have is called I period S period U period. No period at the end. It says Fighting Musical Chairs. Came out April 20th. It's the only game from this developer, 10% off for $6.79. I can already tell you it's too expensive for the concept and for the fact that it looks like MS Paint graphics. I don't even know what's happening here. It looks like it's an isometric top-down fighting game with musical chairs, but also kind of maybe a wrestling game with abilities and like at least 3 bars of abilities. It's too expensive, regardless of what it is. Like, nobody's gonna buy this game. It doesn't look that good. Looks like an NES graphics, somewhere between NES graphics and MS Paint graphics, depending on whether you're looking at the background menus or not. So let's just close that. Gamma Sutra has an article, Game Design Deep Dives, Dandara's unique jump-only movement mechanic. Dandara. Let's see. I believe Dandara is a game that we've people have played and covered, so yeah, I've seen it. It doesn't actually look very interesting to me. Like, the fact that you can't walk forward and back seems like you've just intentionally removed a very helpful mechanic that is expected by default. It would be the equivalent in my mind if somebody said, let's make a unique video game where we take out all the audio. Like, certainly there might be a storytelling reason to do that, but it also feels like a pretty dumb idea to cover for the fact that you just didn't want to pay to have audio created. And that certainly seems the case in Dandara, where it looks like it's a, at best, 16-bit graphics game. So, a very long article that ends with the result. We believe one key point here to show is by designing natively for different input methods, you can bring to life a completely new game design. And we hope that with Dandara, the growing amount of premium games that are coming natively to mobile, we can give another look into these devices and reevaluate the potential for as a very accessible platform. So they built this game specifically to run on mobile. I guess that makes some sense. And close that article. Your Gamer has an article, Graveyard Keeper looks like Stardew Valley, but with considerably more corpses. When is Graveyard Keeper coming out? Do you have a date? Because if you don't have a date, I don't care. It's going to arrive on PC and Xbox One later this year. Now the thing about Stardew Valley that really I just had to give up on is doing very slow-paced, methodical actions. Playing a old-style RPG. Like, I would much prefer to play a JRPG where I'm fighting dragons to save the world than play an RPG where I'm farming or creating relationships. I mean, even the latest Final Fantasy game would probably be a little too annoying to me, for as much as it seems like it is wandering around and hanging out with your friends than it is a action-based fighting section. And so, well, it looks like Graveyard Keeper has some upgrades. It also looks like a lot of it is walking around an overworld map. The overworld map is, I think, part of the problem with games like that. It just slows the pace down. And it seems like much in Stardew Valley, you have to talk to people and probably do what people want. And I imagine you go into a crypt at some time. It feels like a pretty direct ripoff of Stardew Valley, while having a slight change on it. Which, if you are going to rip off a game, I guess that is sort of the way to do that, is put something unique into it. I'm sure people who are fans of Stardew Valley might, and who also maybe are a little bored with it now, might want to play Graveyard Keeper when it comes out, but it's coming out also pretty close to when Stardew Valley is going to get its multiplayer. And introducing multiplayer to Stardew Valley, I think, would probably help quite a bit. Part of the problem with Stardew Valley, too, is you start way too small. You're not equipped, you don't have money to build a nice, efficient farm. And that is kind of annoying. The Sky Factory DLCs in Minecraft or custom maps also have started. I like to watch a lot of those, but those intro sections are kind of boring, and then it gets boring around the mid section too, because Sky Factory will inevitably bring in some expansion, some new mechanic that goes off the rails and gets too complicated and it loses me. So there's a sweet middle ground between growing trees and knocking down trees for wood over and over again and baking that to make coal, and having pneumaticraft installed and creating plastic. Pneumaticraft is usually the point where I'm done with the Sky Factory playthrough. Let's see, next game we have on Steam is called Neo Sticks. It came out the 20th. 30% off for $1.39. It doesn't look like it's VR enabled, which is weird because this certainly looks like a VR game to me. But I guess it isn't. I guess it's just a cheap one screen kind of... I mean, do you call these fake games when it's this small? I think in this case you would, because the developer has also a game on there called Neo Balls, Neo Boom, Neo Boom 2, Neo Boom, let's see, and now Neo Sticks. So they're going with the exact same theme of making very simplistic games with neon coloring, and that's kind of it. It's probably the exact same game, or nearly the exact same game in its creation. Like, I've certainly fallen for fake games like that before, so I can go ahead and close that. Let's see, PC Gamer has an article. Hearthstone designer explains what to expect from next week's Monster Hunt. The new single player mode will be familiar to dungeon runners, but have a few surprises in store too. Okay, well, I almost don't want to be surprised too much, so I'm just going to generally skim this article. There will be more than 45 bosses in the Witchwood, all of them unique to the expansion. Some are beefed up versions of the collectible card, as Cost puts it, but most of them are unique to Monster Hunt. So that sounds like a lot of people put probably too much effort into Monster Hunt, which might explain why I found the cards that actually came out to be rather disappointing. Witchwood, I guess, might have been intentionally the boring expansion because the next two expansions have to work with Witchwood. So if they start doing something really crazy in the next expansion or the expansion after that, that would make some sense. Anyways, Monster Hunt goes live April 26th, which should be a Thursday. I'll try and stream that live and make a special video where we do that. It probably won't be super long. We'll just play a game, see how we like it. If I like it a lot, we'll potentially go into a live stream after. It'll be live, but I'll make a special video, and then after the special video, we'll just live stream my gameplay, maybe in silent gameplay after that. Let's see. Let's see. Go ahead and play this. I'm gonna go ahead and retweet Hearthstone. What did I just retweet, I wonder? I click a button to retweet something, it probably is gonna retweet garbage. I'm entering a contest with HS Replay to get 50 card packs because that would be good. Lemon Lover comes online to show me an emoji of a lemon. Fair enough. I just saw on the Graham Norton YouTube channel that Mary Berry, who is a famous cooker, old lady who cooks, I guess, famous recipe writer, she got arrested at an airport once because she had pre-sorted out all of her flour and sugar for a presentation, and so she had all these baggies with white powder on her, and she didn't even get the idea that they thought it was drugs. Alright, so there's the hsreplay.net giveaway to win 60 card packs of Witchwood, which I'll certainly take. What does this one do? Can attack whenever this minion takes damage, deal 3 damage to a random enemy. Fine. We'll get rid of you. It's kind of a pointless card. PC Gamer has an article, Encumbered sucks, so why is it so common? If everyone hates being over encumbered, why do so many big games still rely on it to keep your inventory under control? Honestly, I don't know. They're talking to the Witcher 3 creator, but I don't know why they use that system when everybody hates it. I would think there would be an easier way to just break down inventory. The main problem with encumbrance is it's always built into your system where you have to take items and take them to a store, an NPC character, to sell them. Where I'd much prefer just to be able to magically dismantle and dissolve everything into gold or currency. Maybe you have a shopkeeper that gives you a better rate, so you hold on to your big expensive things until you get to a shopkeeper. I mean, that certainly is a possibility too. But when you hit these points in games where it's like you can't carry anymore, it always sucks to play menu hero and inventory hero and spend time. Playing Darksiders 2, most of that game is playing inventory hero. It's just like, should I feed this weapon to my possessed weapon? I don't really understand how the system works, but I guess I should. Should I pick up this weapon? Should I equip this piece of armor? They are relics of the past, designed to make short games seem longer, and we don't need that anymore. People don't have that much time. There's a quote here. We do big games, particularly open world games, with thousands of objects that can be picked up and examined. So often, I guess we turn to a mechanic where fun goes to die. I don't understand that quote at all. I don't think I'm just misreading it. The next quote is, having a limit to how much equipment Geralt can carry plays a part in making the character and the world around him more believable. I don't believe that. By the way, PC Gamer, if you're going to put quotation marks at the beginning of in a cutesy animated form, you have to put quotation marks at the end before you quote, you accredit the quote to the person. And they're not doing that. Jeez. If you didn't pass an English class once in your life, apparently you too can still be a video game reporter. The next quote is, Lacal swears up and down that he hopes incumbent systems coerce us into interesting choices. Like, no. Get rid of encumbrance. That is the #1 mod for any game, is get rid of encumbrance. Just let us carry as much as we want. The thing is, it also pushes onto the player a bad system. because the creators of the game have created a bad system where they flooded the world with garbage items instead of having slightly better items that have higher value. If there are 5 like rotten apples that are worth a penny each versus 1 regular apple that's worth a nickel, get rid of the 5 rotten apples, put the 1 regular apple in the game. It's just that simple. And then there's less to deal with. Let's see, what else do we want to do? Let's go ahead and play this. I guess that's all I can do, so I'll end your turn. Game of Sutra has an article. Australian High Court orders Valve to pay the $2.4 million fine over misleading refund policy. That is to say, Valve has lost its final appeal. It really is going to have to pay that money. It was pretty obvious they were going to have to pay that fine. But I imagine in the long run they probably profited from that, as companies tend to do, by having no refunds on games for so long when they weren't legally allowed in Australia to have no refunds on games. But because of what Australia did, we now do have those no credit asked refunds on games. Next game we have on Steam is called Zombie Derby. Looks like it might be a cell phone port. Doesn't look terribly bad. Like, there is a certain level where you can run into a cell phone port of a game looking better than fake games or joke games that are not made by people who know what they're doing. Let's see. I don't think I can do anything. Let's see. This. And then end the turn. So there's, let's see. Zombie Derby. Also, there's a Zombie Derby 2. So, interesting that they're going backwards and releasing Zombie Derby 1 later than Zombie Derby 2, which came out in January. This is 20% off for $1.59. It has 2 user reviews. Let's see what that is. What the reviews are. Let's see. Apparently, it's 3 positive reviews. Do this. And I'm just not getting the card I want. Alright, play this. And aren't these the guys that just replace everything with a 3-1 demon? A 1-3 demon anyways. It's too early to have played that card. Interesting. One of these recommended recommended ratings is written in Russian, but it looks like it might be the exact same review that was written in English. In fact, 2 of the reviews are written in Russian, so that's very suspect. Let's see. 5 levels to explore. That's going to be the killer. It's like, why would you pay any amount of money, even $1.60, for a game that looks like a mobile port and only has 5 levels? So we can close that. Do this. Seriously, what is going on with Hearthstone right now? Like, why is it taking so long? This is ridiculously slow. Next game we have is called Achievement Hunter Cat. I imagine it is from somebody who has Achievement Hunter everything. Yes, there's at least 20 Achievement Hunter games, which aren't games. 4,948 achievements. 40% off for 59 cents. Valve's got to do something with these people. Like, first of all, ban the phrase achievement hunter in the name of games and make them apply. If some legitimate AAA developer wants to make a game called Achievement Hunter, make them apply for extra scrutiny. And then secondly, just flag and review every single game that's giving out more than 100 achievements. Like, I think 100 in itself is probably too high of a number, but I could see some legitimate games getting that high. Like, you didn't really even need to look at it for a game called Achievement Hunter. Going through all this. The next game we have is called The Big Journey. It's the only game from this developer, 10% off for $4.49. Says it's rated E for everyone. Says it's got some awards. It looks like it's animated and like kid friendly. Maybe it's kind of a ball rolling platformer type. Like maybe you tilt the world. Let's see. Playing casual right now. We're still not getting victories. No way to cheat it on the Asian account either. Yeah, this looks like this might be a cell phone port, but it doesn't look bad. 31 achievements for this game. Although I don't know if I'd want to play $4.50. Yeah, it does seem like you tilt. It's a casual jump and roll adventure. Tilt the world to roll around and explore the beautiful world with Mr. Whiskers. Let's see. It has 3 recommended reviews on this game. This puts me in a weird position because I want to say this is a cell phone port and that's my excuse for not buying it. But I don't really feel like that's a valid excuse to not buy a game. Because it looks like it's a potentially good cell phone port. And an interesting gameplay mechanic for a game is there aren't a ton of tilt the world games out there. Super Monkey Ball being like one, I guess, example. So since this looks good, I think I kind of have a duty to wishlist it, at least until some more reviews come out. Let's see. So moving forward, PUBG is working on an underground cave system for its new Savage map. For anybody who plays PUBG, I'm sure they know what that means. I think I saw the suggestion on Steam to make an underground tunnel cave system, so it's not super surprising that PUBG would steal that idea. And then I'm sure they'll claim it was their own idea from the beginning, knowing PUBG's activities lately. Let's see. Moving forward to the next article. Rock Paper Shotgun has an article. In the grim darkness of the 21st century, there are only bad choices about game delays. So it seems to be an article about Warhammer 40k being delayed. Warhammer 40k Inquisitor Martyr. I would much rather see delays than crunch time. I'd like to see them be more realistic about release dates and be more flexible. I think the wrong people are in charge of deciding when release dates are going to happen, and they make bad choices. Like, it really is a management issue. Like, and you've probably seen it if you've ever worked a job anywhere. You've probably seen a manager or a boss who tells you have 8 hours to do something that should be done in 16 hours. And as the employee, there's not much you can do about it. I guess I really don't care enough to read the rest of this article, though. I kind of scrubbed through it. Didn't see anything too interesting. Game was delayed. Next game we have on Steam is called Porco U-Ball, like a porcupine ball, one word. It's free, so you can't beat the price. Came out April 18th. And I mean, even if it is an asset flip, which it probably is, it's a consistent asset flip. And it's you're in this forested area, there's camping equipment and stuff. Is this going to be a game where you roll around as a porcupine and pick up items onto your body? That'd be interesting. Or is this a just ball rolling game? I don't think I have any bandwidth right now. These videos are not playing smoothly. So the stream might be really, really laggy too. No, it is. This is what is that? Japanese game? Damachi. There's a word before Damachi. I don't know. I don't remember the name of this famous Japanese game where you are the prince of the king of the universe, and you're rolling balls around, making them bigger and bigger. Like, I mean, what can you say? Go play Pokeball, I guess. It's a free game. It's Katamari Damacy, but as a porcupine, which is a great spin to put on it. It doesn't look bad. It probably is a lot of Unity assets in it, but unless it asks for money, what do you care? It looks like they're placed well. Looks like somebody really wanted to make a good looking version of this. Let's see. Like this is from a publisher called Half Baked Data, and it seems like a half-baked idea, but maybe they'll come out with a new game after Pokeball, and maybe that's the deal, is that they're planning on somebody else getting some good publicity by releasing Pokeball for free. Tragic Master came on the chat. I don't know if I mentioned this and put a smiley face. Hi, Tragic. Next game we have on the Steam came out April 20th, called Blind Maze. It's from a developer called Alpha Omega. That's made one other game. Let's see. Do this. And this. And we'll go ahead and play this. So let's look at what Blind Maze is. It's a maze that you don't see on the screen, and instead you see a bunch of squares that you. It's kind of like the, what is that doodle toy? I should know the name of the doodle toy with the sand inside of it and the two knobs that you turn. Is it called a Magnadoodle? Wow. It kind of looks like something like that you're controlling to navigate a blind maze, and then it shows you what the maze appears or what you thought the maze looked like at the end. Let's see. 40% off for 59 cents. The graphics are low quality. There's nothing appealing to it as a concept or visually, so I'd say skip that game. This, and this. And with Chrome's update, I have no clue how many more tabs there are. I think we still got tons. Next we have a game called SpectraCubes Infinity. It's from a team that's made several games, 4 games it seems like that well, they made SpectraCubes and then they made SpectraCubes Infinity. It looks like what it is maybe Minesweeper, maybe something else. There's cubes for sure, but how the cubes interact with anything is uncertain. Let's kill this one, I guess, and then go ahead and kill this. So I'm just gonna leave that there. If I got one more fire spell, I'd win. It's 10% off for $2.69 for SpectraCubes Infinity. That just tells me it's way too expensive for the visual art style, and frankly just bad color choices. Some very basic, I think, Unity backgrounds, like a gradient of colors from a ugly purple all the way to a ugly peach in the background. Yeah, it's the opposite of visually appealing. It's literally painful to look at visually. I am getting a little tired of people playing this card. And cards like this that are just summoning ridiculous amounts of minions, because it's wrecking me. It really is. It's been 45 minutes already, and I don't feel like we've made any progress at all, because I don't think we have. There's a game called Azada Ancient Magic. It's from Big Fish Games, which tells me it almost certainly is a hidden object game or a hidden object adventure style game that we have come to know. Problem with them is these games are always really expensive, so no discount for $9.99 for a hidden object game, or at least that's what I'm gonna call it. and or you could buy the bundle of all the other Azada games that they flood, the Big Fish in particular floods the market with. That way you can get 4 Azada games for $35.96. We gotta hit him with this one. But if we hit him with this one, we'll die. Just end the turn. No reviews on Azada because, of course, nobody's gonna pay play that much for pay that much to play that kind of game. Lemon Lover comes on the chat. Tragic, you're the man. Okay. I would love to have enough coverage and enough people on the chat when they were talking to each other, more than directly talking to me. It would take a little bit of the pressure off, certainly, of trying to play games and look at the chat and win and look at the news. We've got a game called Boobs on Island, not Boobs on a Island or Boobs on the Island, just Boobs on Island. It is from a developer. I can only describe their name as GAYLES, capital GAMES. So I have to say that is Gayless Games. So this is a joke game where they've taken some stock assets and of female models, not put any clothing on them, and then have them running around a stock asset level, swinging stock asset swords that are not scaled appropriately, and fighting against, I guess, some probably pretty basic AI. It's single player only. 40% off for 59 cents. It has over 5,000 achievements, so they're going for different things. And by the way, it doesn't actually have 5,000 achievements. It has 4,861 according to Steam, so it's lying there. And there's one fake review giving it a positive review. See, and what can we flag games for again? Flags games for offensive, adult content, hate speech, defamatory, broken. I mean, I guess we'll just go with offensive. It's offensively bad. Let's just report it for being offensively bad looking. They probably don't even look at reports from people who don't actually play the game or own the game. Which, fair enough. If you're not a customer, why should they listen to your complaints or report? Next game we have is called Cube Zone. It looks like a cube game with a lot of asset flips. Any cube-based game, I imagine all of that is just asset flips. It doesn't even look like it's well laid out. Very basic, solid color backgrounds. It's supposed to be a puzzle game, according to this. Came out the 20th. How much early access? 10% off for 89 cents. And there's only one positive review, and the product was received for free, so you can't really trust that. This guy is just not killing me. I probably should concede. Yeah, let's just concede and save ourselves some time. So yeah, I don't see anything from Cube Zone, and it's the only game from that developer too. Gamasutra has an article. Crossfire developer Smilegate closes its Berlin studio. South Korean developer Smilegate has closed its Berlin studio just over a year after it opened. Smilegate is the creator of the online shooter Crossfire, an uber popular first-person shooter with more than 650 million registered players and a peak concurrent user count of over 8 million. The company began branching into Europe back in December 2016 and opened its Berlin office in February 2017. No specific reason was given for its sudden closure, with Smilegate simply explaining it needs to implement changes to effectively pursue a new business strategy. A short statement suggests that the restructuring could take place in the future, although the Korean outfit claims Crossfire won't be affected by the changes. Haven't heard of Crossfire or Smilegate. But I could certainly see that the world economy might be cooling off a little bit, and certainly video game companies are known to create open studios and then shut them down a little bit quicker than most other industries. Tragic Master came back and said, "Lemon, you are the bestest lover of the citrus variety." Let's see. Do I have anything I really want to play right now? Guess I'll play this. Maybe if I pay attention and not do stupid things like play this card against this guy, that'd be smart. Gamatsu has some Inazuma 11 Aries details. This has caught my attention because Inazuma 11 is a soccer anime, so I'm interested to see how this will turn into a game, because it's not just going to be soccer. It's going to be some kind of weird, like, RPG soccer-ish thing with storyline, it seems, which is weird. So Inazuma 11 Aries is due for the PS4, Switch, iOS, and Android this summer in Japan. So I look forward to seeing a little bit more information about it. Unfortunately, all I can really take from the screenshots is there seems to be a health bar, there seems to be a magic bar of some sort, and it seems like there's going to be some story, but there's going to be a lot of soccer playing too. So you'd really have to be in the soccer, but you wouldn't want to be playing something like FIFA and compare it to that. Let's close. We already talked about that story. Maybe I'm finally getting close to seeing the end. There's a game called Vaulted that came out on Steam today. Let's see what it is. It looks like a hover car driving racing game. But it looks like some asset flips too. Maybe done in a slightly artistic style. Single player and multiplayer, it says. Let's go ahead and end our turn. It says it's early access, but it's $12.99, which that kills it immediately. It's arcade multiplayer tank battle you can't stop playing, according to the one positive review. And it's from a company called Betterberg that doesn't have any other games on Steam. It still kind of looks like an asset flip. Like there's that low polygon 3D animation style that pops up a lot that makes it look like this was something somebody made cheaply and easily and then is selling on the Unity Asset Store. So I'm not interested in Volted. Let's see, apparently there's a game called Space Pilgrim Academy Year 2. What kind of game is this? It says adventure, indie, sci-fi, story rich. It looks like an RPG Maker game. It almost certainly is an RPG Maker game. And I don't think there's anything more I need to say because everybody by this point knows that I hate RPG Maker games. It's 10% off for $1.79. There's no reviews. I really wouldn't pay $1.79 for a game that is year 2, so there's this whole bundle down here at the bottom for $10.30 with 57% being off right now, which is weird because it says 60% off, scratch that, 57% off. Why is it giving you a worse deal? Like, there's a bug. Shouldn't be depicting it that way. It literally has a box that says 60% off normally. Scratch it off. It's now on sale for 57% off. Yeah, that's shady. Shady, maybe on Steam's fault. Maybe on that. Maybe on the developer's fault. PC Gamer has an article that says God of War Ascension and God of War 3 look great on PC with this PlayStation 3 emulator. Still a way to go, but the RPCS3 emulator is making progress. Getting a PlayStation 3 game to run on an emulator is certainly very interesting. Because of the weird cell processor that PlayStation 3s were working on. It also opens the door to playing some of those PlayStation 3 exclusives that never came to PC. I don't know if that's inherently a super tall list for me. I'd like to play The Last of Us. I'd like to play Until Dawn. I think that was a PlayStation exclusive. I don't think it came to PC one way or the other. The God of War series certainly would be interesting, although it kind of doesn't seem like it matters if you know the old God of War series. In fact, you could probably just remaster the original series up until this latest one and make a shorter, better experience. Kind of in the same way that you could take the Assassin's Creed series pretty easily and shorten that experience to something more realistic. Yeah, I don't know what I'm really looking for here while I'm watching trailers of let's see, improvements seen in Skate 1.5, God of War 3, Last of Us, Ni no Kuni. Ni no Kuni coming to the PC would be great, but if it really is just going to be an emulator running Ni no Kuni, then like that probably wouldn't be that great. Hmm. The main problem with something like this is that running an emulator just doesn't get the games into Steam. And until the games are in the Steam, I don't even care about them. So moving on, let's play this, because I'm about to lose again. Next game we have on Steam is called Onimyoji. Onmyoji. I didn't pronounce that right. It has mixed reviews, 81% of 285 user reviews. So a lot of people played this game. It came out April 18th. The question is, why is it mixed reviews? Let's see. It has English subtitles and interface and full audio in Japanese. It's free to play. So, like, let's see. There's a not recommended review here that says, rather more polished game than other ported mobile games. Good graphics, voice dialogue, and account can be linked to its mobile version. Still though, as a PC game, it has gameplay limit plus stamina. Hashtag well, whatever that is. No limit system of any kind should be allowed on the PC games. Good for people who play it on mobile and want to continue on PC. So there's some like stamina draining time limits in the game that seem to be a problem. Seems to be that it's a cell phone card battle card collection card character battle game with some RPG elements to it. It doesn't look too bad, but you probably could find better. And if people who are spending time on a free game to review it and say it's bad, then it must be really mediocre. Next game we have on Steam is called Legend Knight. I bet this one's not even in English. Oh, it is. Interesting. Was this a massive multiplayer RPG game? I guess that knocks me out immediately from playing it. It looks alright, kind of like Diablo, but it's $16.99. And if we look at the company that made it, it's their only game on Steam. So you really can't trust a no-name Chinese company making an MMO. It looks like you only have 4 characters you can play as too. Because they're showing a character select screen and there's only like 4 boxes. So maybe you start with 4 and then you go further along. Maybe there's just 4. That DNA, DENA, and Platinum Games combined effort for their game World of Demons, which is supposed to be a spiritual successor, I believe, for Okami. That it's coming out for iOS and Android. We already talked about it again, but I figured I'd try and clear up that they're calling it the spiritual successor of Okami, at least some of the reporters are. Looking at the screenshots, it doesn't really look too much like Okami. It looks like just some samurais fighting demons. And it's a cell phone game, so I'm not going to be too interested in it. Yep. Close that. There's a game called City Bus Simulator 2018. Came out the 18th. I think that's probably all you need to know. It's 15% off for $12.74. Nobody's going to be that dumb to buy this game, except for, I suppose, the one person that did buy it and rated it as not recommended. He says, I can't believe that this game, that an indie dev would be happy to release. The game itself if you get to load it, is what you'd expect from 1999. Graphics outdated, poorly optimized, audio assaults your ears, gameplay generic, no variation controls, no control support, massive input lag. Someone had better get the Morton bug spray because the game is infested. Too long didn't read. The game is not worth the effort to download, let alone the price they're asking for. And yeah, I think that's pretty much what you would expect from anything that in simulator. Well, Tractor Simulator, some of those games actually seem like they do have some effort into them, but a lot of them certainly are just blatant attempts to rip people off. Next game we have is the supposedly wonderful future, which sells 10% off for $8.99. Is there any reviews? No. Let's take a look. It says it's an action indie sci-fi visual novel, story rich. What it looks like is some asset flips to try to make a game. But there needs to be like a whole scale here, because somebody was trying to make environments and trying to have people and characters around, but they all feel very generic. They all feel like they're just kind of randomly placed, and it doesn't quite fit. Kill this guy. And all of this 3D environment stuff doesn't explain how the game is played at all. I've looked at every screenshot and I'm still completely confused as to how you play this. It's the only game from this developer, so skip that. There's a game called The Spatials. Did we talk about this game? It's rated mostly positive, 72% of 211 user reviews. Came out March 30th, 2015. I guess this one was on sale. Yeah, 60% off for $3.99. It does strike me as it's probably a city management RPG type game. Maybe it's like kind of a Star Trek ripoff. So I might look at this a little bit closer. Well, we're doing it. We should do it now if we're going to look at it. Not just put it on the wish list and check it later just because. Let's see, it's 5781. You've been chosen to build and lead a space station in a wild corner of the galaxy, attract visitors, and explore hundreds of planets to fund your station. Yeah, looking at the screenshots, it's too much of a simulation and not enough of Star Trek for me, even though it does have a little bit of that feel. Right? It's kind of funny that they haven't ever successfully just made a game where you go out on Star Trek-esque missions. I guess FTL might be the closest example of something that is sort of like that. Next we have a game called Geest, Geeste, which I assume is a misspelling of the word Geist. Let's see. I think we already talked about this game. Am I just covering games I already talked about? It's like a ghosts are flying towards you and you're shooting them with your ghost gun. It's first person shooter, garbage game, $2.99. This game's claiming if you're the first person to reach the end of the game, you win a prize. Sounds like BS to me. There's no reviews. There's an all-time peak of one person with nobody playing it today. And it's from a developer who's got some other games, like 3 other games, but none of them look great. So I'll skip Yeast. What are we doing now? This. And I guess this. And then the turn. Super Mega Baseball 2 slides home on May 1st, according to Rock Paper Shotgun. It will launch May 1st on what platforms? Let's see. It's coming to Steam for $30. It was once due September 2017, but ended up delayed almost a year. Wow, like 6 months. Super Mega Baseball 2 looks like a kids-friendly baseball type game. Rated E for everyone, not a hardcore simulator-based baseball game or a game for people who are complete and total fans of baseball. So more of an action arcadey style of gameplay would be what I would be looking for, and maybe this will be the game. So I'm gonna wishlist that one. Next game we have that came out is called Barrage. Is this in English? It has English and simplified Chinese. Is it in VR? Yes, it is. Well, in this one, it seems like you've got guns and you're in a stationary position and you're shooting at planes that are trying to, I suppose, barrage you. Let's see. It's $4.99. There's one not recommended and 2 recommended, which isn't really the same much. And let's see how many games this developer has created. Just play this and get rid of that. Yeah, Barrage is the only game from this developer. As a VR game, it actually looks better than most VR games. But it still doesn't look like it's worth $5. Like, all of these VR games are incredibly short and incredibly expensive for the amount of time that you will spend on them. You'll spend usually more time, it seems like, setting up and getting your Vive or Oculus Rift running than you will actually playing it. Lemon Lover came on and said, "May the lemon trees provide you plentifully this season." And he said, "Thank you, my friend, smiley face, sun, tree, and lemon." Of course, he said those 2 sentences in reverse order. He said, "Thank you." Then he said, "May the trees provide you with plentiful." Yeah. Alright, well, this ain't working. This is just bull. Alright, Witchwood. Back to the same BS. We really are. Even with easier daily quests, we still, playing on casual or playing on ranked at rank 23, still can't get a freaking victory. Can't get it no matter how hard I sort of try. So let's switch out to the European account and at least try something different, because I've had enough of the Asian account. Probably do a silent post show today. Seems like that's where we're heading. I keep trying to break up this finish this recording, and we only have a few more games to cover, and then I may take the entire weekend off because of just not feeling good. I have uploaded almost all of my videos from Darksiders 2, but my internet is being a little bit slow still, so that's not as much of an issue anymore. Let's see, Paladins, Shaman, and Warlock. Great. Because I ended the stream on Wednesday short, this was from the Tavern Brawl. So we'll get some classic cards. Have a golden rare we can turn into dust. It probably wouldn't be a terrible idea to sit on a pile of dust and then see what cards I need to craft a better deal as another 100 dust. And then we were going with Paladin, Shaman, and Warlock. Can we play Paladin, Shaman, and Warlock? Paladin. Murloc Paladin. Casual or ranked? Like, I've only gotten 18 ranked victories at all with Paladin on my European account. That's pretty crazy. Trying to hurry up here. Dark Dimensions Somber Song Collector's Edition. It's a hidden object game from publisher Big Fish Game, from a developer that's not Big Fish Games, but they seem to all be shell companies, or companies at least that work exclusively with Big Fish Games. So they want you to spend $12.99 for this hidden object game, or buy the bundle for 10% off for $38.66. If anyone is dumb enough to fall for that, I've got a bridge to sell you in San Francisco. I don't think that's actually the saying. Well, whatever. I would play hidden object games. Certainly. I love playing hidden object games when they're cheap, when I can get them for 50 cents. But I'm not gonna, like, who in their right mind is gonna spend over $10 on a hidden object game? Next game, we have a game called Flappy U VR from developer Flappy U and publisher Flappy U, and the only game they've made is Flappy U. It's 10% off for $1.79, and do you know what it is? It's Flappy Bird in VR, if you hadn't figured that out. So you have to actually flap your arms as you're looking at a sideways animation of pipes above and below you, which puts you in the absolute worst position to try and see any of see the path or prepare. Like, you could not play a game this way. Even if you could play it, you could only play it for about 5 minutes before your arms are so tired. Like, what a stupid concept from the word go. By the way, the graphics don't look that good either. Like, if you're gonna make a Flappy Bird clone, why waste your energy making a 3D? Yeah, why make a 3D one in VR? Why limit your audience? Well, I guess I can hit this guy. Then end the turn. Next game we have on Steam is called Ninja Striker. Looks like a kind of nicely polished NES game. And by nicely polished, I mean that it's zoomed in a little bit closer, so it's not tiny little pixel sprites. There's life and power and score and time at the top, a boss bar at the bottom during a boss fight. Right. And it seems like there's kind of a rapid movement element to this. Like faster than you would normally say. It says it's a fast-paced action that brings to mind retro classics. This brings you the intense gameplay and combos with cool Japanese setting. Yeah, it seems like, if I was to guess, it's more along the lines of a Sonic Spinball, where you're bouncing and moving your character. In fact, it's kind of questionable how much you're actually controlling your character in the first place. Darn it. Well, we'll kill this one. Actually, I should have killed him with that one. Yeah, it's kind of questionable how much movement you actually would ever have, because it seems like you're going to get into these Sonic-esque chains where you're going to always be propelled forward. As 2 Chinese or Japanese recommended reviews. It's $3.99, and the main thing is that it's the only game from this developer. And this came out the 18th. Well, you know, every now and then I think I should give some games a chance. Like, so often I look at these games and I say, yeah, that's not gonna be anything. That's not gonna work. But this seems like it's a well-polished attempt at the game, so I'm gonna wishlist Ninja Striker. Every now and then, you know, playing a bad game is not the end of the world. Although it certainly can lead to the end of you playing video games if they are terrible examples of games. Next game we have something called Hatchick. Hatchick. It's, I think, supposed to be the combination of hatch and a chicken. And there's just this chicken in this big sphere with all these particle effects everywhere. It kind of makes it look like an asset flip of something completely different. Let's see. 15% off for $12.74. Let's do this. And then do this. And do this. And hit this while we're trying, and go ahead and attack here. Wow, we're actually gonna get a victory. The problem with Hatchick though is it's a VR game, so it's an expensive VR game in the first place. Has like 1 Japanese positive review. Only 9 Steam achievements, so not everybody's in the business of filling your Steam achievements up. And it's the only game from this developer. Seems like it's just too much of a weird combination of other things, of assets that have been flipped. Alright, next. Let's see. Gematsu has its media create sales for 4/9/18 to 4/15/18, which is to say, it's the Japanese sales rankings. So, as far as software side, the Snack World was #1, then Kirby Star Allies, then Splatoon 2, then Death End Request, and then Far Cry 5. So Far Cry 5 is way at the 5th in Japan. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, City Skylines, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Super Mario Odyssey. And I wonder if, I assume this is sales in this 1 week. Super Robot Wars X, Ni no Kuni 2, Steins Gate 0, Pokemon Ultra, Detective Pikachu is 14. That seems rather low. Let's see. Monster Hunter World is 16. Rainbow Six Siege is 15. Super Robot Wars X Limited Edition is 17. Let's see. Hokuto ga Gotoku, which is Fist of the North Star game, is 18. And Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition is 19. And then Attack on Titan 2 was number 20. And this whole time it's been saying NSW in front of it, and it took me 20 times to look at that to realize that meant Nintendo Switch. As far as hardware sales, we'll go with some real numbers. Switch was #1 with 36,000 sales or thereabout. PlayStation 4 was #2 with 9,000 sales about. And then the new 2DS LL, I don't know what the LL stands for, got 4,000 sales about. And the new 3DS got 3,000 sales. The Vita got 2,000 sales. Vita's still selling. The PlayStation Pro got about 1,000 sales. Then the old 2DS got 616 sales. Then the Xbox One got 55 sales. And the Xbox X got 17 sales. That tells you just how incredibly unpopular the Xbox is in Japan. So, good to check up on that every now and then, although I don't think I probably need to look at that every week. We've got a game called Healer's Quest on Steam. Came out the 18th. Healer's Quest is a comedy RPG where you play as the most underappreciated party member in a fantasy realm, the healer. As per usual, your teammates are a band of inept jerks. 92% of 13 user reviews are positive. It's the only game from this developer. It's 15% off for $12.74. But I'm not so far letting that deter me, because the artistic graphics look kind of interesting. Let's see. Guess I need to kill one of these guys and this. And so it seems like what's going to happen in the game is you're going to constantly have to heal people who get into these story elements in which they hurt each other and you have to save them. The artistic style is low detail, kind of cartoony. I mean, I'm not sure how you really describe it. It's how would I describe this? You're gonna get all kinds of upgrades, so it's gonna be a real RPG thing, but you're only playing as the healer. keep playing. The duration of a game like this might vastly affect how interesting it is to play. Because Healer's Quest to me seems like it would need to be a 5-hour game. Other the joke is gonna just wear too thin. It's gotta be more of a story type RPG than a non-story type RPG. But people are loving it. It has an all-time peak of 126 people playing it. 93 people played it today. 34 achievements. We've got a winner here. Apparently it's not in version 1.0, or maybe it is now in the patch notes. Let's see. The only thing that could convince me against this game would be the negative review. And I mean, there is literally only one negative review in the game. Do this. And do this. Let's see. Ben Brode was talking about how Rexar, he's not one of the characters here, they gave him a bow, and he's never had a bow in World of Warcraft. The one negative review for Healer Quest is, well, I found the game slightly annoying. Combat is a bit too stressful, but still not actually fun or challenging. The banter is not bad, but still not good enough to make me crack a smile even once so far. And they played it for, I believe, 2.6 hours. So they kept the game, or they went for a non-automatic refund. I gotta put Healer Quest in my, you know what it looks like? It looks like the art style is that of a child's, like a infant book. The kind of books that are, the characters are sometimes sewn and are embossed upward. It does have that fabric look to it, like a woolly, kind of like Yoshi's Woolly World, but not quite. I'm gonna have to think of a better term for that. Hey, we got 2 victories over here on the European account. Let's go over to the, see if we can get a Shaman and a Warlock victory real quick. Because we're, let's see, Shaman's all we've got. We need to fix our Warlock deck. So let's fix that quickly. I'm only fixing the things that I need. That way I know whether or not I have a custom Warlock deck, because I'm sure I had a daily quest to play Warlock cards, which that certainly is still a thing. Like, I keep getting the exact same cards offered to me. It's annoying. I'd prefer to just make my own decks, honestly. At least have some ownership of your creation. Next game we have on Steam is called Laws of Machine. Came out October 4th, 2017. What do we do with a game like this? It says it came out October 4th. It has no user reviews. It's been months and months. It's the only game from this developer. It's $3.99 with no discount. Why is it back on my list? Well, I mean, I certainly can't wishlist a game that's this old and nobody's played, even if I was to say that it does look maybe a little interesting. But I'm not even sure I really agree with that statement. Like, it looks a little polished, but it looks a little messy. It looks like it's all over the board in its artistic style. One scene seems more cartoony, one seems more Portal-esque. So do I say don't bother buy it? Do I not wishlist this game because nobody else has wishlisted the game? Or do I run a risk on it? I think I'm just going to be generous today and wishlist this game. Like, I may be the only person that ever buys or plays this game if I ever do buy it and play it. The main problem is it's $3.99, so I'll probably never actually play it. It's too late to do that, so I'm just going to end my turn. There's a game called Insomnia the Ark. It's a diesel punk RPG that echoes Bioshock and Fallout, according to PC Gamer. There's a 1 minute long trailer. Man, my internet is not working well today. So yeah, I guess I'll see about this game Ark Insomnia. Too many games called Ark, certainly. And is it from the creators of Ark Survival Evolved? No, it's called Insomnia the Ark. Yeah, I'll wishlist it. It's coming out in 2018 according to Steam, so we'll catch up on that game. Another example of PC Gamer talking about a game that isn't out anytime soon, so there's no real reason to have mentioned it. Like, PC Gamer in particular feels like they have a very high quota of articles that they're trying to put out on Twitter. There has been a lot of talk on YouTube that maybe you shouldn't put out so many videos. Somebody told Jim Sterling that he shouldn't put out so many videos, and Jim Sterling doesn't put out a lot of videos. Inherently for my channel, it's too bad, so sad. I mean, I've got to maintain the pace that I'm doing to cover the amount of games I'd like to cover and have the amount of footage I'd like to have. So if that means I never get another subscriber in the world, I mean, that would suck, but I can't so drastically change my channel to chase after subscribers that may never come. I mean, there certainly are some things I can do to try to attract new subscribers, but reducing my output is not really one of them. And it just doesn't logically make sense. There's a game called Zima Yuhodi. Is this in English? It says it's only in English. Let's see. 40% off for 59 cents. What kind of game is this? Indie casual. Seems to be a snowball type game. Like, kind of like Worms, but with snowballs. I guess that's kind of an interesting idea. It seems like it's from somebody who's made a bunch of weirdly named, not very well received games. Kind of just fake game type things. I'd say it's a fake game. I mean, even if it isn't, it's not an interesting enough game. Do this. There's. This. Just keep on attacking and draw cards. And in the turn. The Battlefield studio DICE is reportedly working on a Battle Royale mode project. I think this comes out to be a confirmation that both Call of Duty and next Battlefield games will have Battle Royale modes. That'll probably be the death note of Battle Royale modes, is once two of the major first-person shooters add them, people will want to move on to the next thing. And certainly that goes to directly say that Battlefield and Call of Duty will both not be the games that come up with the next big thing. SNK announces new hardware featuring popular Neo Geo titles. I believe it is a 40-year anniversary small thing that you just plug directly into your TV. I doubt it's going to be an actual arcade cabinet in an arcade or anything that expensive. It's going to include some titles like The King of Fighters, Fate of Fury, Samurai Showdown, Metal Slug. A lot of Neo Geo games are very similar fighting games, with maybe some lower level details slightly to differentiate them. We have a game on Steam called Comma Bullet Heritage 2. What is this? Is this developer? Seems like there's a bunch of random crazy games from this developer. One's called Tetra Prank, which we already looked at that game, so that just came out about a week ago and they're already on to the next game. 40% off for $4.19, already too expensive. Seems like these are random assemblies of words. Let's see if there's how many reviews are positive. 5 negative to 1 positive, but they're all labeled as somebody else's language. Let's see if that's really true. There's a Russian negative. I have no idea what language this is, but it's negative. There's Japanese or Chinese in negative. Looks like Korean in negative. So everybody who's played Bullet Heritage doesn't like it. Seems like it's attempting to be some kind of game where you run around beating up people. Come on. The one thing that's still responding is the freaking like the one thing that's still responding is the timer. Yeah, it seems like actually in a weird way this looks like an actual game. It's just people don't like it. And that's good enough for me. So I'll just close that and move on. Last game that we had pre-opened was called Abnormal World Season 1. Wow. That was like a Rastafarian zombie MS Paint graphics garbage. Somebody really wanted to come out on April 20th and they came out on April 18th instead. Maybe they came out a couple days early. Let's see. 30% off for 69 cents. No reviews. What kind of game is this? Indie casual. If it looked like there was a actual good game in this, I potentially would consider buying Abnormal World just for its craziness. But because it doesn't look like there's an actual game there, that's asking too much. Just keep on drawing cards. All right. And we're on the Humble Store if it loads. Slowly loads. Alright, what bundles do we have on the Humble Store? Man, everything has to load. Everything on the Humble Store has to load before anything loads. 3 days left for the strategy bundle. 4 days left for the software bundle. And I believe right now you can get Satellite Rain for free for a limited time. Just on the Humble Store. This guy just keeps building up armor. Let's see, Satellite Rain free, add the cart. Chrome updated, so all my logins for some reason were forgotten. Maybe that's some good news. Maybe Chrome has finally decided to encrypt the passwords of the logins on your web browser. There we go. And so now we're back to Twitter. And I'm just going to do 2 episodes, 2 particularly long episodes. There's a Minesweep game that came out 9 seconds ago for Steam. We'll talk about it Monday. People talking about Ben Bro. Oh yeah, YouTube TV or Team YouTube retweeted somebody complaining about YouTube TV because they apparently are so dumb that they can't even tell a direct, obvious complaint. There was no subtlety or sarcasm in it. It was someone specifically saying YouTube TV used to have DVR service, now it doesn't. Now it has video on demand, which is not the same thing. This has gotten a lot worse, and they liked it and retweeted it. And I'm like, seriously, what are you doing? What are you doing, Team YouTube? Like, maybe Team YouTube also hates the recent changes to YouTube TV. Let's see.
I hope you like my invention.
Don't really need to talk about that story again. There's an article we can talk about on Monday. I'll probably do some cleaning up of just stupid, pointless games that come out over the weekend. Although it is also pretty common for Monday to be a little bit slow anyways, because of just nothing seems to come out on the weekends. I'm about to lose. So I need to hurry up and scroll down my Twitter feed and see if there's anything important. YouTube talking about Coachella quite a bit when that was happening. See, Team YouTube update. Looks like this issue is isolated to Android and in only a handful of specific cases. We're continuing to monitor reports to get this fixed. And this is a retweet on the issue where they said, we're looking into a few cases where mobile live streams appear deleted if metadata such as the title, description, or tags, or you change the privacy settings such as public or unlisted, is editing while it's processing. It shows the video has been removed by the user. Which, that's really, really bad. That you could accidentally label something as gone. Let's see, apparently Gearbox has an article on Gamma Sutra, the qualities that make for a good producer. Apparently, according to PC Gamer, the Shenmue re-releases were in the works before the third games were revealed, says Sega executives. So I need to get 3 victories here. I need to get, I believe, 2 victories on the Asian account, and then we can kind of cheat the Americas account. And since we'll be into a silent post show, if people want to play me and let me win, that's fine. If people want to play me and not let me win, I guess that's okay too. I'll give at least 1 game towards that. Somebody is new on the chat saying nice Plague Doctor. Hello, Plague Doctor. Let's see, what do we need to trade here? Let's keep the combo cards and get rid of the wins. So 20 priest cards, 6 combo cards, and this was the Tavern Brawl that we got from last stream. Well, the good news is I am probably getting better and not sicker. And that certainly could have been the case. Let's see. I'm scrolling down my Twitter feed just to make sure. As always, there's a bunch of things coming out on my YouTube channel for pre-recorded footage, which it'd be nice if a lot more people were watching those, sharing those. I spend a lot of effort on that stuff. More effort probably than I spend on Hearthstone in the long run. And they feel like they are always the forgotten stepchild of my channel, when really they are the thing I want to be doing a lot more of. And sometime this sometime during this weekend, I'll probably try and finish up Darksiders 2, and then I really need to sit down and do some scheduling of videos, just to make sure everything's ready to air in the next couple of months. My scheduling is still pretty far ahead, 2 or 3 months, so it's not a hugely big issue. There's a PC Gamer article, The Life and Death of Eve's Online First All-Woman Pirate Gang. That's probably going to be interesting, but also slightly infuriating, knowing PC Gamer. Yeah, so Strider 2014 number 8 came out 3 hours ago on my channel. So I'm slowly scrolling down. I did the film struck or film stuck for, and then immediately people started doing the hashtag game struck for. I don't think I'd bothered to pick 4 games that heavily influenced me, because it's probably not something I've thought enough about, honestly. And since it's my industry and my job, I don't feel like I should so flippantly say, oh, it's Portal 2, or both the Portals, or Bayonetta, or Super Mario Brothers. In all honesty, it probably would be something like Super Mario Brothers, The Legend of Zelda NES, Donkey Kong, the arcade game, and what would the 4th be? Borderlands, maybe. Like most of the games would be very, very early games that were heavily influential to get people into games in the first place. And it's probably a good argument to make new arcade style games, particularly on phones that are free, simple, easy things that anybody can play and get into gaming, versus the severely complicated 200-hour RPGs with crazy gameplay mechanics, because that's just not new to gaming friendly content. And still just scrolling down. I think I've probably hit the point where I want to. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be any more news, because all these news posts look right there. Like I've seen them all before. Of course, Twitter is still kind of crazy about how I seem to be missing half of my tweets, and then I go and look at them again, and there they are. Alright, well, I've gone as far as I want to. That's going to be it for this talking portion of the stream. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. When you subscribe, please click the notification bell, even if you don't think you need to, because YouTube's crazy. And if you want to support me even further than doing all of that, friend me on Steam and gift me a game or a gift card. Remember, the Daedalic 90% publisher sale is going right now, and I would take any of those games that you notice that I don't have. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.